Hey guys, it's Winters MMA here. Today I'm gonna be talking about the most underrated UFC fighters, but trust me, I know ball. My first one is Marlon Moraes. He was a very nasty striker, amazing Muay Thai. His World Series of Fighting run was so cool to see. He was such a cool striker, and he's overlooked due to his losing streak. Um, I can't defend that. He did lose very badly. He didn't have the best fight IQ near the end of his career. He got shinned a lot. But he knocked out Aljamain Sterling in a little more than 1 minute, which is really impressive. Look at Sterling now, former champ, still beating guys at the top of the division today. And he did pretty well against Henry Cejudo until, he got tired and he lost by TKO. But like Marlon Moraes, very underrated. I don't hear a lot of people talk about him anymore. That's why he's first on this list. Now, this second one I have, I'm pretty excited about. Frank Mir, he's one of my favorite fighters. One of the most talented heavyweights of all time. He was the man back in the day, before his before that horrible crash he had in the 2000s. He was champ. He's one of the most talented heavyweights of all time. Like, mostly very fun to watch. He had a few boring fights. The Overeem fight was boring, and a few others. But this guy has some great wins. He's beat Tim Sylvia, Brock Lesnar, you know, and so many others. He was kind of a heavyweight gatekeeper. Um, his chin was never the best. That's what I'll say. He suffered a lot of KO losses, but he has very cool grappling, very slick grappling. That Tim Sylvia armbar, loads of leg locks he does. Submitted Brock Lesnar with a knee bar. Um, yeah, he was very good for his time, but he slowed down a bit, like a bit. I mean, a lot near the end of his career. So yeah, he is very underrated. No one talks about him. Um, there were comparisons between him and Tom Aspinall when Aspinall was in the early stages of his career, but he's kind of been forgotten, and I feel it's my duty to remind all you guys that Frank Mir was, he existed and he was good. Aaron Pico. So I know his only notable win is Patricia Pitbull. That's kind of sad. A moment of silence, please, everyone. But I think this guy's very talented and he could go very far. I think the only thing that's holding him back is his chin. But he is very, very talented, like dangerous power, great boxing. He was a Golden Gloves champion, I believe, and outstanding wrestling. He got signed by Bellator like before he even had an MMA career, just because of his wrestling prowess. He's a very talented athlete. Just look at him there. He could be a bodybuilder. That photo, like, he's ripped. But the only thing holding him back is his bad chin. He's been knocked out too many times for someone of his age. I believe he is. Let me check here. He's like. He's 29 and he's been knocked out 4 times. That's not a good thing. But this guy could make it far. I don't think he could be champ. I can see him maybe fighting for a title. He's still young. Um, he's a dog. He's willing to bring the fight to you at all times. Just look at the Patricio Pitbull slugfest. He was able to go to war but still win decisively. So all I'm saying is I'm investing in this guy. That's all I'm saying. But trust me, keep an eye on Aaron Pico. Steve Garcia has got some really nasty UFC KOs. Actually, all of his UFC wins are by vicious knockout. A lot of people forget, but he knocked out Chase Hooper as a part of his win streak. He has a very good win against Melquizael Costa back, like, I think in 2023. He beat David Onama, who's a pretty good fighter. Um, pretty good in the lower rankings of the featherweight division. Um, he did beat a washed Calvin Cater. I just put that on the notable wins list because Cater was a big name. Now, not so much, but Garcia did beat him decisively. So this guy, first of all, look at his reach. His arms are so long, and he really uses that, as well as his crazy KO power. He likes to use a lot of kicks, especially to the body, like front kicks to the body. Um, yeah, I just don't think Diego Lopez will lose to him. So I think he's losing to Diego Lopez, but it feels like no one talks about him. This guy's on an 8-fight knockout streak. That's like so impressive. Actually, no, he does have a unanimous decision win against Cater, so all but one of his UFC wins are by knockout. Um, he's a dog, ready to bring the fight whenever. Um, his build is just crazy, like a real Slenderman build. I like him. He's always fun to watch. I'm not a fan of his political side, but that's whatever. Separate the art from the artist. Gegard Mousasi, what a guy. He was, I could say he was the original Bilal Muhammad, except he was actually entertaining. Now, he was perceived as a quote unquote boring fighter. He has 3 UFC losses. He left the UFC on a crazy knockout streak. He beat Chris Weidman, Uriah Hall, Vitor Belfort, Thiago Santos, all those by knockout. And he had more of a win streak outside of that. But people just slept on him, and he wasn't given a title shot. As a result, he left the UFC. But he stopped Chris Weidman, Dan Hendo, Lyoto Machida was a decision in Bellator. Vitor Belfort was a pretty good win. So this guy, I feel like he could have won the belt. He was very good. Still, people now, no one talks about him. He's probably second best Dutch MMA fighter. Overeem is third because Musasi and Overeem, they never won UFC titles. The number one is Boss Rutten because he was UFC heavyweight champ, but he won almost everything. He didn't win the UFC belt, unfortunately. He was never given the chance. So, I mean, his striking was so slick to watch. He could hold his own on the ground as well. He was he was a mixed martial artist. He was good everywhere. Um, his only losses were Uriah Hall, Jacare Souza, and Lyoto Machida. They're no bums. Okay, maybe Uriah Hall is, but they're good. They're good people to lose to. He's not losing to cans out here. So yeah, I won't take any Gegard Mousasi disrespect. This is the end of the video. I put a lot of work into this, guys. This took me like 2 days to make. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I make some short form content now. That's also there on my channel. Um, interact with that. I have a lot of long form videos out as well. So feel free to comment and like on those. This has been Winters MMA.